Happy Thursday, y'all. It is a special edition of Sheroes League. I need you to share tonight. Tonight is going to be amazing. I'm excited because we are gearing up for Sheroes League 2025. I see you in the comments, and it is time to share. If you were at Sheroes League 2024, you know that tonight you're in for a special treat. And so I need you to like, I need you to share, I need you to tell everybody. If you like that little clip that we showed you, tonight is going to take it to a whole nother level because we are on the road to Sheroes League 2025. And when you're on the road to something new, sometimes you got to take a flashback to something old. You know, Sheroes League Conference started the conference started in 2023, but the whole Sheroes League movement of connecting women of leadership, connecting women who lead in various areas, whether it's your home, whether it's your business, whether it's in ministry, having this connection point where we can grow together, where we can really learn together, where we can expand together has been the passion since the establishment in 2020. It was during the pandemic when women weren't invited to the table. And as some of our great Sheroes would say, when they don't invite you to the table, you don't have to pull up a chair. You set up a table and build your own. And Sheroes League is the table that we set up to build our own so that women could pull up a chair, have a conversation, have meaningful dialogue, but also be empowered for what's next. So I see y'all in the comments. Treasure says she's excited. Dr. Laura is there. Miss Deborah is there. I'm going to be interacting with you tonight. So we're going to watch a little bit, and then I'm going to come back, and then we're going to have a good time. If you have not registered for Sheroes League 2025, you have to go to SherosLeague.com and register today. So many exciting things happening. Sheroes League is happening August 6th through the 9th, and I want you in the building. But to prepare you, we're starting something really fresh and new leading up to it. On this Friday, we're going to have a Sheroes night out with all the ladies right here in Houston, Texas. So if you're in Houston, Texas, you got to get in the building and meet me at Sheroes night out. We're going to have a little dancing, a little dialogue, have some deep conversation, a lot of laughter, a lot of just girl time. So that's happening on tomorrow night, 7 p.m. in the building. And guess what? You want to be in the building because I'll be announcing the speakers and some of the guests for 2025 Sheroes League Conference. Yeah, and I got a special discount. But if you can't get in the building, you got to register right now for Sheroes League 2025. And then I'm starting a special Bible study for women in July as we are gearing up for Sheroes League. This is a time where, for those of you who want to go a little bit more deeper into women and you want to go a little bit more deeper into studying Sheroes of the Bible, you got to get into the building. So y'all ready for tonight? I see Danielle, I see Sophie, I see Miss Cheryl. Y'all got to get these numbers up, all the way up. You hear me? So go on Instagram, tell somebody to come on over to YouTube, go over to your Facebook, tell them to come on over to the Facebook page. But tonight it is happening. Sheroes League. I'm looking down because I'm going to be watching with you and I want to see your comments. So show me. Hey, if you were at the brunch, put a hand raised in the comments. If you attended this brunch with Tisha Campbell, I want you to tell people that they missed it, but I love you enough to invite you into the room. So let's step into the room of Sheroes League Conference 2024 with my special guest. It was amazing. The one and only Gina, but let's call her real name, Tisha Campbell. Y'all check this out. We're going to come back and dialogue about it. So tune in.
The legendary, the actress, the singer, the powerhouse, the Shero, Tisha Campbell. Oh.
Good morning, good afternoon, saints. Let's go.
You ready for this?
I am. Hi.
We are so glad to have you.
I am so glad to be here.
You're so pretty.
So you know what? That's what struck me. I mean, the congregation, honey, is gorgeous. You all look beautiful. It's beautiful.
They
You can feel it. You can feel it in here.
feel it in the room. Mm-hmm. Well, I am excited to have you here. And there are some things that, we got these note cards that we're going to ask some questions. And I appreciate you for saying yes. We have been preached to and prophesied and prayed over all week. This is a moment for us to just be women and have fun and talk about life and being bold in our career and in our field.
And in our families.
And in our families.
And in our struggles.
And all of that, and we come out victorious.
Yes.
I'm so grateful that when I saw we were working together, and shout out to Danny who made sure everything was together. And she said, "Dude, can we have some seats at the brunch?" And I was like, I guess, who's coming? And so you didn't come alone, and I'm grateful for that because...
No, I brought my mother. Hi, Mom. I brought my sister-in-love.
Yeah.
And we have other family members over there, too. Yes.
And that means a lot. That's special. That says a lot about you coming here, that you would bring people to this space with you. Like when you travel and go places, you don't bring everybody in space.
No. You know what's interesting? We were talking about this last night. My life has done such a 180. I can't even say a 360. It's done a 180. I'm not the same person that I was before 2018. I no longer hang out I didn't really hang out, but a lot of people were drawn to me, and I had a lot of people coming to my house and hanging out, and now I might have 3 friends that I can really, really count on. And I think that kind of happens as you get older anyway. Your circle gets closer and closer and closer. So I don't really have a lot of people, and I'm very adamant about having people who hold me accountable.
I love it.
Who tell me the truth. Mm-hmm. I do not have yes men around me at all. I mean, Danny, at all. But they hold me accountable, and I think that's important.
Yeah. So you said 2018.
Yeah.
So what happened in 2018 that made you say, let me change my circle?
I was married for almost 30 years. Mm-hmm. And I was such the committed wife and mother, and I put myself last all the time. Everybody and everything, and a lot of victims, I was always taking care of everybody, but I wasn't taking care of myself, and I had to make a really hard choice. A very difficult choice that I thought I would never, ever have to make. But I knew it was for my own heart and survival. And I was able to be free in a different way.
Wow.
And I had to let God handle it because I was not in the driver's seat at all.
Yeah.
I literally was following his lead because, I didn't even know what faith was before that. Because honestly, I thought faith was you get on your knees, you pray, and then you go do the work. Whatever that was, I was like, well, okay, I prayed, and now I gotta go get it. I gotta go do it. No. I came in a space where I was like, I have no idea how to do this. And the only way I'm gonna get through this is with you.
Yeah.
So this was the first time I had my hands in the air, and I was looking to him, and I was like, okay, well, what we doing? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that was my first time really understanding faith.
I love it. Because sometimes you have to leave the how to him. When you leave the how to him, then you trust him to order your steps, and you'll be amazed at how he guides you.
Yeah.
I've been divorced. Mm-hmm. First of all, I appreciate you talking about faith and lifting your hands up because, people are funny. They were like, so why would you have Tisha Campbell at a church? And I'm like, why wouldn't I? Because I believe that ministry doesn't just come in one form. It comes in all different
forms. And you know what? I agree with that. There's different ways to minister. Yeah. And this is my ministry.
Yeah.
Right? I may not always play the good guy, but you're going to learn a lesson from it. And that's how I look at it. And you know what? Everything that people hear about people in show business is pretty much somewhat true. Honestly.
Okay.
I'm just coming to the realization because I was protected by God and the bubble of working all the time. Mm-hmm. I was always working, and so I didn't really see what was happening even right in front of me.
Yeah.
And so for me, I'm just coming to the realization, we had this really fun game that we were playing in the car. I was being honored at, I forgot what it was, but we were going to this event. And it was Danny. I keep mentioning my best friend. So she says, okay, how many, out of all of the people in the business, how many people percentage-wise do you think are good and how many do you think are bad? And I was like, oh, 50-50. And she goes, you poor thing. Right? And so the Uber driver who was listening, I said, sir, how many do you think? He was like, okay, I'm going to give you 60-40, but she said 80-20. And I was like, wow, that's a lot for my mind because I think of the good of man first.
Right.
I believe in the good of man first, but that also, I didn't have discernment.
Yeah.
I didn't understand discernment because I was whistling past the graveyard like there wasn't some zombies about to eat my brain. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I didn't see. I just didn't see because I wasn't a part of it and I was in my own world just working, trying to feed my family. You have to understand where I came from. I came from Newark, New Jersey. Mm-hmm. And so my motivation for what I do, for my ministry, it wasn't for being famous or getting money or prestige or power. Mm-hmm. It really was because I wanted to help my family out of our situation. And I was 5. Wow. We were that poor. We were eating mayonnaise sandwiches, syrup sandwiches. We were getting the government cheese. We had food stamps, if y'all remember what that is.
They're trying to act quiet like they don't know.
Yeah. And I understood really at an early age how poor we really were. And my parents were, they were working. I mean, we were that family that got the food stamps. They had to hide the toaster when they would come and hide you had to, back in the day, for those who don't know, when you were on government assistance, you couldn't have anything. You couldn't have a blender. You couldn't have a toaster. You couldn't have a TV. You had to hide those things. And there were people who would just pop up. They would go do pop-ups at your house to check and see if you had anything. So we had to hide them in the closet. You even had to hide your man sometimes. Like if you were married.
Wow.
Or if you had a boyfriend, you couldn't have those things.
Wow.
So I understood that at an early age. And I just told this story where when I was about 5 years old, my mother was a singer. She sang, background. She had her own gospel group called the Shockley Singers. That's my mother's maiden name. And they were sisters, but they also sang background for Mahalia Jackson.
Wow.
And so I grew up in a family that was, it was church and it was music, so that's all. I started out as a singer. And so I found out that there was a talent contest. Mm-hmm. And the second prize was a color television. And I really wanted to win that for my family because we didn't have one that worked. Mm-hmm. We had the big color television on the floor, but that didn't work. And there was a 13-inch black and white one on top with the red ears.
Keep it real.
Yes. That's what we had. And so I really wanted to help them. And I was like, Mommy, the second prize is a color television. I want to win it. And she was like, but you're the only child group. And I was like, I don't care. I want to do it. So she entered me into the talent contest. I didn't win. I was super disappointed. I wanted to cry. But I won the first prize. I won a car.
Hold on.
Yes.
So you didn't get the second prize, but you won the entire competition.
And I was mad.
Because I didn't get
the color television.
You didn't get the TV, but you got a car.
No, ma'am. And they put the keys in my hand. So I throw the keys down and I run to the edge of the stage because my brother was eating my Cheetos. So I was going to go kill him, but Right when I got to him, the guy pulled me back. He said, "You want a car?" And that's when I noticed my mother was crying and my dad was jumping up and down. And I was like, oh, I can help people.
Wow.
And so from there, I took that theme through my entire career. So it wasn't for the money or the power or the prestige that a lot of people get caught up in. It was to help my family at first, and then it was to help other people to utilize this platform to be a better person and to be able to touch people. My job is to master human emotions, right? So my job, how do I put it? In my job, I understand the difference. The difference between being a celebrity and being an artist.
Okay, tell us that.
The difference is a celebrity wants to be served. An artist understands that they're in servitude. Listen.
Did you catch that?
Do you understand how easy of a yes it was for me to come here today? I am in servitude to you. Yeah. So every time you embrace me, I am honored and humbled by that because I am in I'm serving you. I'm trying to utilize my artistry that God gave me.
Yeah.
And with that artistry, I get to change mindsets. I get to make people laugh. I get to make people cry. I get to make people think.
I love that.
And so for me to be able to do that with all of you, it honors me. And I just can't say this is the best that I can be. And I'm the most happiest I've ever been in my life.
I love that.
Because
okay, listen, I'm taking this all in because really, as she's talking about servitude, I'm really thinking about Sheroes League and the conference as a whole. Like putting together the conference requires intentionality. This year, I've prayed about the speaker selection. I have labored over the speaker selection. My staff has worked really hard. We're working to make sure that we serve every attendee, whether you're in person, however you connect with the conference this year, wanting to make sure that we serve you to the best of our ability. This year's theme is She's Well, and just making sure that when you leave, you know that you're well, you know that you're seen, you know that you've chosen. But I think sometimes we put servitude just in the category of preachers and teachers. But how are you serving well to others? Maybe you can serve somebody by really inviting them to be a part of the conference. There's a young girl at our church now. She's a member, but she started coming to our church because another older lady, and she's young too, but invited her to be a part of that experience. And so I want you to invite somebody to be a part of the experience. If you think Tisha Campbell was amazing, as I said, we do the prayer, we do the prophetic, we do the proclamation, we get God, but we also have a time when we have real conversations. And the conversations this year are going to be phenomenal. But I want to get back into this. So again, Sheroes League Conference, August 6th through the 9th. You can go register right now. There are several levels. There's the echelon that includes the conference and the brunch. It already covers your brunch ticket. And let me tell you, they didn't show you the food, but we always eat good. Then there is, if you just want to be a part of the brunch experience, you can do that. Or you can just be a part of the conference, or you can bring seven girlfriends plus yourself, or maybe you got some homeboys that you want to be a part of the conference because men are welcome too, and you can be a part of that whole exclusive group where you and your crew are exclusive and really like my VIPs, my special guests for the entire conference. All right, it's time to jump back into this. I'm telling you, if you have not shared this, hit that share button. Tell somebody to watch because it gets better. I mean, like really gets better. I appreciate her transparency. I appreciate her authenticity, but I'm ready to go into this second half. I put a question in the chat, and I want you to really think about what's your motivation as you go into the second quarter. This is amazing because we're about to shift into the second half of this year. What's your motivation for going after better? What's your motivation for going after the goal? What's your motivation for winning in life? Put that in the chat, but let's dive right back into this because it's part 2 for our interview from 2024 Sheroes League Conference with the one and only Tisha Campbell.
The one thing that I took away from the separation was what God gave me. I walked away with no money. I walked away, I had to start all over again. I went from a 13,000 square foot house that I built from the ground up to nothing. I had to start over in 2018. Now, I've been poor before, but they didn't see me coming because what happened was I was bold enough to understand what the Father gave me that no man could take away from me.
I love it.
And that's the only thing I took 11 items. I took 2 pictures.
Okay.
I took a couch, a coffee table, a lamp, and some other things that was really small. That's all I left with. And I was okay with it because one thing that happened, I had my 3 good girlfriends. That's Danny, AJ, and Jennifer. AJ Johnson, I did house party with. We're still friends. She's also a life coach as well as an actress. She would be a great here too. You would love to hear her speak. But she's so eloquent.
All right, Sheroes 2025.
I'll make sure I'm gonna hook that up.
You gonna hook it up? Okay.
I'm gonna hook that up because she's amazing. She's amazing. But she said something to me. She does a lot of work in Ghana. And she had one of the kings. I want to say Accra, but I'm not sure which region. And he called me and he said, and this is when I was really going through it, y'all. I felt like my brain was scrambled eggs. I was really saddened and depressed. Was I making the right decision? What about my kids? They've never been in this position before. Like all of these things, I have nothing. I don't know how I'm gonna pay my rent. I don't know how I'm gonna pay my electric. This is Tisha Campbell, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. And I'm telling y'all, truth. And I was in this place in 2018, and this king says to me, sister. Y'all like that, don't you? I like it too. It came out of my mouth really fast. Sister, you are supposed to be going through what you are going through. You are a leader. And a leader has to go through the fire. How else will you become a leader? But I promise you this, God will never let you burn.
Y'all hear that in the message?
Yeah,
I'm going to give her credit one time. God will never let you burn.
Yes, Lord. And when I tell you, it has been the most beautiful devastation.
Okay, so I remember that part. I think I told her, we came up with a book title for her. I need to hit Danny and Tisha. Maybe somebody will tag her in this so they can watch tonight. But I told her that day, that beautiful devastation. I don't know about you. Have you ever experienced what seemed to destroy you, what seemed to hurt you, and out of it, there's this beauty that manifests in it? I was telling somebody recently in my own personal life that you don't really, there's certain scriptures that you read, but then when you get older, you get a better understanding of it. And so that scripture that talks about how he says, it was good that I was afflicted, that I may know thy statutes. That's a hard passage to read because you're like, God, I'd rather not be afflicted. But there are some things that you go through that you come out the better. There are some moments in life that you come out the better. And Allie, I am with you. I think y'all need to put that in the comments to remind yourself and to remind somebody that God will never let you burn. He didn't let the 3 Hebrew boys burn in the fire. He didn't let Tisha burn in the fire. He has not allowed me to burn in the fire, and he will not let you burn in the fire. I think that's something that you need to keep at the forefront of your mind when it seems like the enemy has turned the heat up 10,000 times. Know this, that God will never let you burn. As you go into the second half of this year, you got to know that God will never let you burn. And in his protection for you, when he places that protection around you, that presence of the Holy Ghost, he also brings partners along with you. I love how she talks about her friend Danny all the time, because we think we can do life alone, but he never designed that for us. We need people in our lives that we can connect with each other, that strengthen us by their mere presence. And let me just tell you, Sheroes League 2025, the conference that's happening August 6th through the 9th, you're going to be strengthened by the presence of other women. When we get the women in the room, and there'll be men there that show their support for women who lead, women who are wanting more and desiring more. When we get together, there's a strength, there's an encouragement, there's a bond, there's a fire, there's a passion, because we're there to tell you that, baby, you got this. I'm going to tell you right now, even before we get to August, baby, you got this. And the God that you serve, he will never let you burn. I like it, y'all. All right, Gina, I see you, and Miss Deborah and Miss Cheryl and Rita. Y'all putting it in the comments. I'm ready for part 3. Yeah, we're going into part 3. We gotta get, you're gonna get the whole thing. I just want to add my little commentary in there every time. But y'all see that SherosLeague.com at the bottom? Go there, register for the conference. Do whatever you gotta do. Pack your bags, be in the building, because your wellness, not just your spiritual wellness, your physical wellness, your mental wellness, your soul wellness, needs this appointment with destiny at Sheroes League 2025. All right, let's check out part 3.
Nothing. I went from nothing, and I had to pretend like I was okay. When everybody turned their back on you, they're going to go to the one they think is going to win in life.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I had this superpower.
That they didn't know you had, because that's true in divorce. People, it just automatically happens. You pick side, and they think, whatever side they choose to pick, and you're just like, okay, oh, this is different.
Yeah.
And I remember going through my divorce, and my mom had to kind of get me back into a place of believing. She was like, you got to dream again, because everything changes in that moment.
Yes, it does.
Everything that you thought to be true changes. I want to backtrack because, and we're going to come back to this, because that was a pivotal moment for you. But one thing that I love about your story is your commitment to sisterhood.
Yes.
I read that you paid for therapy for Gabrielle Union.
I did.
And her sister-in-law is here. Her sister-in-law is my best friend. Shout out to Tisha Gill.
Hi. I love y'all.
But how do you, that takes a different kind of woman, because in your own challenges, you still found it necessary to help another woman out. What made you do that? Or what, because I think it goes back to the servitude that you.
It's servitude, but it's also my mama.
Okay.
My father and my mother, the way that they raised me and the way that I look at things. I saw that she was going to be humongous, and she was kind of just starting out.
Yeah.
I knew that she was going to need support, and she was going to need help. And I think it's really important that we all, like I had the most amazing therapist. He black. I love that. I needed somebody that could understand my culture. You know what I'm saying? And it was just very, very, very helpful to me. For her, I knew that she would just need somebody to lean on. So I paid for her, I think first 10, no, it might have been more than that. And I thought she forgot, honestly, until I saw her on The View talking about it. And I was like, babes.
Wow.
Oh, she remembered. She was like, how can I forget that when I saw her? And I was like, I can't believe you remembered that. She was like, how could I forget? She says, you helped me. You understood that, you know, this road that we're on, it's, you know, it might look glamorous, but it's not. So I just feel like when I see a sister, and I'm gonna take this back all the way to me being 11 and 12 years old. When, 11, no, I was 12. Tashina makes me say she was 11 because she was 11 and I'm older than her. So Tashina was 11 and I was 12 when we first met. Okay. We've known each other since kids, and we met on an audition where we were competing against one another. Mm-hmm. And we were the only two who would sit there like everybody else is studying their script and they're not talking to each other and they're being all uppity. And Tashina and I were just like, hey, let's sit together. Let's help each other. Like, it just became one of those things. And so we started hanging out afterwards. We'd get a slice of pizza afterwards. And then we would just start calling one another when the other one didn't know about an audition.
Oh, wow.
Yo, there's an audition happening. You know about it? Nah. She was like, all right, so I'll send you, I'll meet you and we could just go over it and you just jump in my audition. So she would give me hers, I would give her mine. And when we saw this one girl who would always get jobs over us, we see her and be like, let's not go to this audition. Let's go get a slice. You know she got it, right? So we grew up together in sisterhood, understanding that we were in competition with one another, but we didn't have to compete.
Yeah.
No, I want you to win. And if I don't get it, I want you to get it, and vice versa. That's how we operate. That's how a lot of people operate. And like I said, there are a lot of true things that you might hear about people, but there are some wonderful, amazing human beings, God-fearing, God-loving, kind people in this business. There really are. I can name them. There's a few that are close to me, which is Regina King, Tashina Arnold, Vivica Fox, wonderful. You know, Gab. Like, there are some nice people. Yeah. There really are. And I'm blessed to be able to have those kinships, to have that sisterhood, because we want to see each other thrive.
That's good. That's good. I love that. So we're back, and I really got all engulfed. I like that, Leslie. Sisterhood is a blessing. Somebody, can we all copy that? Sisterhood is a blessing, and the beauty about sisterhood is that it's not just a blood thing, that God will connect you with genuine women that want to see you win. I am grateful for my friend circles that are sisters to me. I am grateful for the women in my church that are some sisters, that are some mothers to me, some that I mother. I'm grateful for the connection, because when women come together and we pour into each other, we want to see each other win. Absolutely love when I heard that she had paid for Gab to go to therapy. Really, I have a therapist, because I believe that therapy and theology can exist in the same realm. You don't have to pick one or the other, because the Bible says, beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospers. So I need my soul to be just as strong as my spirit. I want my spirit to be strong, which is the real me, but I want the soulish areas of my life, my mind, my will, my imagination, my emotions, and my intellect to be just as strong as other areas. And my friend referred me to the guy that my therapist is a guy, but it doesn't take away the necessity for spiritual principles, but what it does is that it empowers me with tools so that I can carry out this life that God called me to live in the most well way, the better way, and being strong in everything that I do. I have the tools that I need while I take the word of God, and I also deal with some of those emotions. And one of the beauties of Sheroes League Conference is we don't shy away from any topic. I mean, last year we had a sex therapist, we had a mental therapist, but we also have the time of, I'm taking this to the Lord in prayer. I'm putting my issue at the altar. I'm laying it at his feet. And we can do this, women. We can be strong together. We can all gather together and want to see each other win. Just this past weekend, sisterhood is a blessing. Just this past weekend, I had a great experience. I'm going to share this with you, and we're going to go back in it because I believe that sisters support one another. So my friend Latrice Ryan, she's been a speaker at Sheroes League before. She had her conference, Unshakable Faith. And, I knew there was a word for me in the house. And so one of the ladies was ministering that morning. And of course, I believe in laying out in the spirit. I believe in all of that, speaking and tell. Hey, I'm a real church girl. So I'm having a moment. And the most precious thing that happened was in that moment was a sister that came alongside me, wrapped her arms around me, and began to just pray with me as I was really allowing the Holy Spirit to minister to me. And then there was another sister that she's in ministry, I'm in ministry. We're not friends like that, but we're sisters under the umbrella of Christ. And Pastor Hannah was preaching, and she was right there holding my hand. I don't know if Latrice's photography team got the photo, but there's a photo of Latrice, me, and Fondria Lewis. And even after having her own situation, she was there as a sister to uphold me. That's what happens at Sheroes League Conference. We are gathered together as sisters saying, I got you and you got me. You can't miss being in this room because we are sisters that we're saying, I want to see you get what you get from God. I want to see you come out of this better. I want to see you whole. I want to see you win. I'm going to shout with you. I'm going to praise with you. I'm going to rejoice with you. And then we're going to get some tools to win in life. So if you have not registered, y'all, it's happening August 6th through the 9th, SherosLeague.com. But I already know what you're saying, Pastor. All that's good and dandy. Let's get back to Tisha Campbell. I'm ready to get back to it too. So check this out.
In bold, when you talk about being bold, you're talking about taking risk. So in your career, can you recall a time in your career where you had to make a bold decision? And how did it shape the trajectory of your life or either your career?
Okay, y'all want to hear this? Okay, so for the show My Wife and Kids, do you guys know that show? Anybody? Okay. So with the show My Wife and Kids, they did not want to see me.
Okay.
They looked over me, and by the time I was hearing about this audition, and this was during a time, it was during the Obama administration, but for some reason, when he got in the office, they was like, that's enough blackness. They stopped hiring African-American female actors. And so this was the only thing that was out there at the time that everybody was auditioning for. So I call up Tashina. I go, Tashina, did you audition for Wife and Kids yet? They don't want to see me. And she was like, yeah, girl, I'm on my second callback. I was like, yo, send me the sides. She was like, all right, will do. So she emails them to me. And I was like, I could do this with my hands tied behind my back. So I called my agent. They was like, Tisha, Damon loves you. You're friends of the family, but he just does not see himself working with Gina for 5 years. Right? So I was like, okay, I get it. Right? So everybody's third callback came. So I was like, I looked at this. I said, Tashina, send me the whole script. I read the whole script. I was like, man, called her again. I said, yo, Tashina, when's your callback? She was like, oh, it's the final callbacks. It's here. I'm going to send it to you. I said, I'm about to show up. She was like, all right, cool. Back in the day. I like it. Right?
So like just pop up.
So I popped up. Now I drive up to, now this is a Disney lot, so it's real like security is tight. So I pull up, I see a brother and another security guard. And I was like, oh, I hope I get the brother because the brother let me in, right? So I pull up. Now, mind you, on the way there, as I'm, in this line, I call my agent. I say, yo, I'm on my way to the audition. He was like, you're going to ruin your career. I can't believe that you did this. Everybody, this is the worst idea you've ever had. I was like, oh my God, you're so negative. Click. So I pull up to the security and the security guard goes, no. As I pull up, the brother goes on lunch. And I was like, ah. So then I pull up and the guy's like, hi, what's your name? I give him my name. He was like, you're not on the list. I was like, oh my God, my agent. Oh God, they must have did this again and forgot. Oh, can you check again? Look under Campbell. He does. I'm sorry you're not on here. He says, but there are a lot of people that look like you today, so just go ahead. What do? I go, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's when my agent calls again and he goes, okay, I got you on the lot. I said I got myself on the lot. He goes, okay, well, Tisha, I'm telling you, this is the worst idea. Damon knows you're coming. No, Damon doesn't know you're coming, but the producers know, and they are very upset. They don't know how he's going to react. And I was like, it'll be all right. So long story longer, he goes, well, I think you're making a mistake. And I said, there you go with that negativity again, click. I get an audition, I'm sitting around waiting, all the girls are looking at, they all nervous and stuff, and I sit there and I go, I ain't got nothing to lose, they don't want me here anyway. So I boldly sit in the discomfort of nobody wanting me there. I'm sitting in it. And then I go, well, you know what? He might have a point. Maybe, because he called me, he said, you should hide. My agent called me, you should hide when you get in there. Find somewhere to hide because Damon doesn't know you're coming. I said, I'm a grown woman. I'm not hiding. There you go again. Click. So then I said, well, maybe he's right. I should go hide. So I get up and I grab my stuff and I'm going into this one little office and I run smack dab into Damon. And he goes, hey, Tisha. And I go, hey, dang. Right? So he goes into the room and he tells me later, he says, what is Tisha Campbell doing here? But I go into the room and I'm like, hey guys, I hope we can have a good time. Let's just do it. We auditioning, we're having a good time. We had such a good time in this audition. By the time I left, I was like, well, good luck, guys, because I was like, I'm not getting this. So I walk out, my agent goes, what did you do? And that's when I realized, because the spirit had taken over my body, and I was just like, oh my God, what did I do? What am I here? Why am I here? How did I get here? So he goes, Tisha, they want you.
Wow.
And that was me being the most, not caring. God got this. I ain't got nothing to lose. I'm going to sit in this.
Wow.
And there are times, again, it's like, you're not going to be burned. So why not just try? Just go.
Just go. Just go.
I know that was the more entertaining, bold story that I could give you, girl.
That was a good one. That was entertaining and it was faith-filled and all of that.
Okay. Can we talk about this, the nuggets that she dropped, and being bold and walking into spaces where you're not wanted, but you want it. I have this saying with one of my friends, and one of my friends posted it the other day about what I want wants me, or everything that I want wants me. And many times you got to move past the negativity so that you go after what you want, because we say it in the church world like this. So let me give you a good churchy way to say it, because that everything I want wants me. Pastor, how can you say that? What God has for me is for me. So we say that what God has for me is for me. What God has for you is for you. Go after what God has for you. So when you know that you know that you know, you got to go after it. You got to go for the big. I love how she pointed out, like, I could not let the negativity stop me. Last year's theme was she's bold. So we've had these themes every year, and I'm grateful that each year God gives me one word. So year one, 2023, Sheroes League was she's bold. No, she's a vibe. And everybody was like, what does that mean? She's a vibe. Whatever a vibe is for you, she's a vibe. She's all that and more. Then we had the second year, 2020, wait a minute, 2022. Get your dates right. I've been doing this since 2022. Come on, I almost cut a year off myself. 2022 theme was she's a vibe. 2023 was she's iconic. Yes, that's the year we had Mickey Taylor at the brunch. 2024 theme was she's bold. This year, 2025, she's well. And you may say, Pastor, but it don't feel well. Do you know what's going on around you? You got to have that Shunammite woman. You got to have that it is well. That even when I'm looking at some things that don't match up with what I believe, I've got a confidence that it's well. I've got a confidence that it will all be well, that it's all well. It is well. She's well. I'm well. And I want you to meet me at Sheroes League 2025. I said all that to say, you got to be in the building, because we're going to talk about what do you do to get to a place of wellness? How do you maintain your wellness? And then how do you walk in a confidence that you are well and everything that God has designed for you will come to you? I'm going to help you this year. I promise you, I'm going to help you. I got some people that are going to help you, and we're going to push you into your next place of destiny so that before you end the third quarter of 2025 and go into the fourth quarter, you're going to know I'm well and I got this. All right, remember to go register at SherosLeague.com. We are not done. We got another section. I think we got like 2 more sections maybe. Yep, let's get into it.
So let's talk about some adversity. Sure. And I think, of course, divorce is adversity.
Oh, yeah.
And in Hollywood,
yeah,
you make one wrong move, you put up one wrong post, you say one line wrong,
yeah,
and it's over.
Yeah.
And in the midst of the divorce, everybody thought it was over for Tisha Campbell.
Yes.
How did you summon the courage to persevere?
I leaned on what God gave me.
Yeah.
I often think about how Tina Turner, when she says, I left with my name, I want my name.
Just give me my name.
I just said, this is all that I have. This is what I've always leaned upon. This is what helped my family. This is what helped my kids. This is what helped us. So now I'm a lean on the artistry that he told me I was supposed to help other people with. I leaned on that. And every time I was down, something would come and a job would come that would fulfill me so much. And I was so grateful. And it would help to pay those bills. You know what I mean? I started to catch up again.
Yeah.
You can rebuild.
That's good.
Whatever devastation you have, you could rebuild. And I swear I wish I could hold on to every tear that I shed, because it really truly is a beautiful devastation. You don't know it at the time and you don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been honestly abused in every way that you possibly could be abused. In every way. But I'm here.
Yeah.
And I'm happy. And you know what else? Because I was angry for a while.
That's good.
I was angry. And I was praying and praying and praying. And God kept saying, do not wish bad on him. Mm-hmm. Do not wish bad on anybody. You just concentrate on what job I got for you. And that's what I did.
That's good.
That's how I got through it. And then I leaned on the real people. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. I used to have easy. People would just come over my house. And we would have these barbecues all the time. And I would cook everything, okay? And easily 500 people could show up. This whole room would be at my house.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Not helping me clean up after. I had 3 good people that would like help me clean up and help me cook and help me put things together. But I felt like, oh, we need to fellowship. We need to all come together. We need to be on a high level. We need to vibrate together on a higher level. That's what my mindset was. But there was another amazing couple, Keisha Epps and Omar Epps. They came to one of my parties one time, and I could tell they were all talking amongst themselves. It was like 5 of them all together, 5 or 6 of them. And I walked, the party was going on. I'm helping give things to people and making plates. And I passed by them, and Keisha goes, Tisha, why do you have so many people around you that you don't know? And at the time, I was like, oh, I answered her too fast. I said, oh, because, I'm vibrating up here and everybody can vibrate and we can all, and they was like, okay, that's a good answer. But then this last Thanksgiving, when I was sending out all my thank yous to people that have changed my life, I hit her and I said, Keisha, I don't know if you remember this moment, but I explained it to her again. And I said, you don't know what you actually did. You woke me up in that moment. Yeah. Even though she asked me that question, it was almost like a wake up. Yeah. And I started to see all 500 people for who they really were. And I said, I want to thank you. Yeah. I gave you a politically correct answer. I gave you a truthful answer from my heart at the time, but it wasn't right for me. Right. And so again, I have these amazing people who just come into my life. So it was that and the people I started to surround myself with. That's good. The positivity.
That's good. So if you had to say, what's your favorite mantra you live by?
Oh God, how does it go again? Hold on. Because there were 2 that just popped in my head, and that perimenopausal keep popping in and messing me up. I believe it was Ruby.
Y'all say it's a real thing, huh?
It's a real thing. You can't remember nothing. I believe it's Ruby D who said, Lord, please make my task so difficult that I have nobody else to lean on but you. And that's one of the ones that I leaned on.
I like it. Okay, so we're going to do a little fun facts, just a little quick.
Sure. I know I've been talking your head off.
I love it. Okay. You made this easy for me.
Okay, good. Okay.
Favorite role?
Say that again.
Your favorite role that you've ever played? I know y'all feel like it's Gina, but let her answer.
It changes every time I do a role, honestly.
Really?
Yeah. Every time I play somebody, I put my whole heart into it. And I go, oh, that was my favorite character. Oh, that was my favorite character. So I would have to say recently it was I did a show called Uncoupled with Neil Patrick Harris. And it was the first time that I got material and got to work with other actors who were thespians from, they all were from Broadway. Wow. And so most of my career I've done, it was either new actors or rap artists who were just starting to act, or comedians. So to be able to work with that kind of caliber of actor, I think that was one of my favorite roles.
Because it stretched you.
Because it stretched the heck out of me. Yeah.
Okay. Let's just do some fun facts.
Okay.
Fun facts.
Fun facts.
Heels or sneakers?
I'm sorry?
Heels or tennis shoes?
God, man. Today, heels.
Today, heels?
Yes. Heels.
Makeup day or no makeup day?
No makeup.
No makeup? Why?
Because I get tired of putting this stuff on my face.
I get it.
Honestly, I have melasma, and so I have to hide stuff a lot of time. Melasma is like, sunspots, brown spots, age spots. So I wear a lot of makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quiet walk on the beach.
Quiet walk on the beach.
Period. No, I don't have to say anything else, huh? Stay at home or take a trip.
Take a trip because
it's safe.
I wasn't really allowed to travel a lot. So being able to go places is a really fun thing.
Wow. That's a good answer.
Is it?
It is.
It's a truthful answer. It was an uncomfortable answer. Out of all of the questions, this was the most uncomfortable for me.
Really?
Yeah.
But that was a great answer. And I think for some people, it's realizing that, people would think, you would love to travel because you can afford it. You could go any place you want. But to think that would be your priority over staying at home, that's surprising.
Yeah,
but
I'm always at home, and I love being at home. But I think now it's my turn to enjoy life, to make my own choices, to just see the world if I can. That's always been a joy for me.
I love it. Cook or go out to eat?
Cook.
You cook?
Very well.
Did y'all hear her say?
Very
well?
Very well.
Like very well?
Very, very,
like
very well.
Soul food cooking or like elevated fine dining cooking?
I do soul food, I do French, I do Chinese. I love to cook. If I wasn't doing what I was doing, I would do that culinary artistry, or I would be interior designer. So it would be some type of something with the arts.
I love it. Everybody in my family cooks but me.
The middle child? How that happen?
I don't cook. But my dad loves to cook. My dad loves to cook all kind of foods. And during the pandemic, he really started cooking like Chinese and all of that.
Yeah.
My sister loves to cook. They all cook.
Yeah.
I don't cook. So I'm going out to eat over cooking a meal.
Okay.
Any day.
I got you.
But French and Chinese, those are not easy type of meals to prepare.
I love to challenge myself. That's just who I am as a person. Mm-hmm. I think it has something to do with where I was brought up and how I was raised. I like to push myself.
So let me ask this. What's the last time you challenged yourself on? Or the last thing you challenged?
Yesterday. I'm writing a book. I don't often say that I'm writing a book because they ain't gonna hurt me.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah. I'm not writing a book about me. Well, okay. So I'm writing a book about my journey with my son and autism, him being on the spectrum.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
And that's something that I've always wanted to do, was to be a writer.
I love
When I was a little girl, my brothers took my poetry book to school, and then all the kids was quoting my own poems back to me. And so I put the writing career
to the side,
aspirations to the side. But then during the pandemic, everything that I ever wanted to do, I tried.
I love it.
Except for piano. I should have taken that up. But writing is something that I absolutely love. And to hear a book publisher say to me, Tisha, you're a really good writer. Who helped you? Did somebody help you with this? I was like, no. He says, you have a ghostwriter? I said, no. He said, you sure nobody helped you? I was like, this is a really big compliment you're giving me right now. So he says it's so entertaining, it's heartbreaking, it's funny, but then it also reads as a how-to for people who have had this diagnosis or was struck with this diagnosis in their family. So, I'm really proud of that. So that's the first time I love it. The most recent time.
I was thinking when you said A Beautiful Devastation, I was like, that's a book title.
You know what? I was looking for a book title. That is a good...
It is a beautiful book title.
Oh my goodness! Thank you, girl. High five.
got you.
Oh my gosh. He just said, I don't like your book title. You got to think of another one. I was like, I can't think of nothing. It's good.
It came from you. I just stimulated it. See what happens at Sheroes League?
See, I was supposed to be here.
You were supposed to be here. I don't want to miss this, and I'm gonna wrap it up because I know I gave everybody a time, and some people have to get to their flights. No, this has been amazing, but I don't. Can y'all give it up?
Thank you.
I don't want to miss out on the parents and the mothers who are raising children on the spectrum.
Absolutely.
And autistic children.
Yes.
And it is a beautiful thing.
Yes.
And also a challenging thing.
It is.
And so if you could give one word of encouragement to them, I know April is Autism Awareness
Yes,
Month.
it is.
And so what has been if you could encourage them with one statement, or what has been the thing that has anchored you
The one thing, yep.
in a time where there's not a lot of information?
Can I tell the story?
You can tell the story.
Okay. So while I was on the set of My Wife and Kids, that's when I got the diagnosis. And I'm one who doesn't bring my problems to work, right? So it just so happens the doctor called me. She was like, I need to meet with you. And I was like, I can't. I'm filming 2 shows at once so we could get out in time for Christmas, and it's just not going to happen. Is there anything that you could tell me over the phone? And she was like, I really don't feel comfortable. I was like, please. And she said, well, I think your son is on the spectrum. I said, what are you going to tell me, that he's autistic? And she said, yeah. And I just fell out on the floor. My legs gave out on me. I was so glad nobody was in the hallway at the time. And I'm taking the information in, but tears are crying and I'm rocking. After I got all the information from her of what I was supposed to do next and get him, assessed, I went into the room, I washed my face, I went on the set like nothing had happened. I beeline to one of the kids' mothers. I never tell this woman nothing. I don't really know this woman that well. Her son is lovely and smart and amazing and a genius, but we didn't have much conversation. But I beelined to her and I said to her, of all people, they just told me my son is autistic. And she was like, congratulations, so is my son, so am I. By the way, I've been meaning to tell you to stop hugging on me. Woo, y'all hug every 5 minutes. I've been meaning to get that out for a long time, huh? And I just looked at her. My eyes were, I was like, well, what do I do? And she was like, engage. Engage. And with me, anybody who knows me, with data, with information, education, I'm like a dog with a bone. You give me one good piece of data and I'm going to run with it. And she said to me, she's like, 2 of my kids aren't. 2 of my kids are. The ones that aren't are my boring ones. And she said, you have to engage with your child. It's exhausting. It's tiresome. I think I talked his head off for the first 5 years of his life. Look at us. We're going in the elevator. Elevator goes up, 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 up. Look at the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we're going to stop. Do you feel your timing? Like I literally... When the therapist, it's exhausting, parents. When the therapists were there, I chose not to leave the room and let them babysit because you're exhausted. I watched what they were doing. And when they would leave, I would incorporate and apply what they just did when they weren't there. You have to engage. And the one other piece of advice that I could give was to accept the diagnosis, but not the label. Accept that diagnosis, because the quicker you accept that diagnosis, the more help you can get your child, because time is not on your side. And please understand this, that Black folk and brown folk get diagnosed 2 to 3 years after our Caucasian counterparts. We get misdiagnosed. We get thrown in jail. They don't know that half the time, you have autistic adults never being diagnosed properly, and they're being treated and mistreated.
Yeah.
So accept that diagnosis and get the last piece of advice. So engage, accept the diagnosis, but not the label, and get respite care. You have to get respite care. For anybody who doesn't know what that means you're gonna get tired. This is exhausting. If a family member can't help you, they have things set up where you can get help from a respite care worker that works for the government or the city or the state. So do that. Those are my 3 pieces of advice.
I love this. Can y'all, that deserves a hand clap.
Wow. I'm like, man, this interview was so good. You know, there are parts of it, like this was a longer segment that we did just so that you could get the meat of it. But like the lean into what you do. You can rebuild. Can y'all just start putting in the comment your biggest takeaway from that last segment? You know, I followed Tisha Campbell online, and just the other day she was talking about showing her son how to cook, and then he said he was gonna cook. And so the to see the exchange between her son, I need to follow up and see if she used my book title. You know, maybe so. So Danny, if you're watching, let me know if she used the book title. But that is the transparency of Sheroes League. I think when we were talking about stay at home or take a trip, and I said something, and I was telling the team here that's helping me, and shout out to the team and the staff, and I can't do what I do without them. But I was telling them, I was like, I don't even really remember that portion, but I said so quickly, I was like, this is a safe place. And Sheroes League is a safe place. It's a safe place for women to come, to be ministered to be healed, to have authentic conversation. Do I believe in being dolled up? Absolutely. Y'all know I love my hair. I love my heels. Matter of fact, we're sitting on set today, and even though you don't see my shoes, I have on heels right now because there's just a feeling that an elevated of heels gives you sometimes. But the safety of that moment, that she felt safe, but it's really a testament to the entire the week. So we start on Wednesday with prayer and worship. Then we have Thursday morning where we bring in some of the men to dialogue and have, we've had Bishop R.C. Blakes. We've got new people coming this year. I can't tell you just yet, so you got to stay locked in. But we have men be a part of the conversation, to have real conversation. Then we always have some therapy component. We always have Thursday night is a word. And the Lord told me this year that to focus on Wednesday night being a night of prayer and worship. Thursday night being a night of prophetic, that I believe God is going to prophetically speak into our lives. And then Friday, we're going to close it out with proclamation. I think I picked up that mantle from my mom, and from, of course, the praise and the proclamation. I'm going to lead you into praising God in advance, but I'm going to show you how to proclaim your future, a future of wellness before it even exists. And so I want you to join me this year. I'm believing God. There's so many of you watching. Men, you can come with your wives, but our wives, just come by yourself. You don't have to be married, because, girl, the single ladies are going to be in the house, because you don't have to wait till you get back into a relationship to be well. Your wellness starts right where you are. So look at your schedule. Rearrange whatever you have to rearrange. But August 6th through the 9th, it's a retreat. It is a wellness appointment that your life needs to be in the safe space, the transparent space, and the authentic space of Sheroes League. I'm excited. Taking care of ourselves is what we have to do. Tomorrow, again, is Sheroes League Night Out. It's a fun night. So we do fun, we do ministry, we do it all. So if you're in Houston, I want you to join me, and then mark your calendar. Starting July 7th, I believe, you can go to sheroseleague.com/study, or just go to Sheroes League and you can find it all there. We're starting a women's only Bible study every Monday of the week for 1 hour. And I'm looking forward to you joining me for that. All right, y'all. So we're going to go back into this. I had one more other comment. So, I told y'all to put in there, what was your takeaway? So y'all just said, love those, love this. all of that good stuff. So I don't know. I just did something. I should have touched it, but y'all are still watching me. So let's get back into this. All right.
Final nugget. I'm going to let you select it. Final nugget you want to leave with everyone in this room. Because at first I was going to ask you, like, tell us something that we wouldn't know about you. But
that
people
you wouldn't,
that most people, because most people think they know you because they've seen you in all these characters.
Yeah.
But what's the one thing that they think they know about you, but they really don't know about you?
I know that I might look like the strong Black woman, and the strong Black woman trope is put onto all of us. What that doesn't do is leave room for sadness or even depression. We get this, and then when we speak up about it, then the angry Black woman trope is put upon us. Please take care of yourselves.
Yeah.
Like, I know that I might look that way, but there were moments where I was completely broken. Surround yourself by the most powerful, amazing, prayerful people, and they will help you through.
Yeah.
They don't always have to be a family member. You know what I mean? They may not be family members. They may be a friend. They may be a teacher. They may be a confidant. Whoever it is, and if you don't have someone, they got call centers. Find somebody that y'all could get this out with.
Yeah.
I'm becoming the strong Black woman right now. I'm much stronger in understanding the things that challenge me.
Yeah.
And that I'm strong in every tear that I shed.
I love it.
That's it.
I love it. Final thought.
That wasn't the final one.
We can make it the final one.
Yeah, because I think I'm all out.
I gotta say it one time only because I'm a Martin fan and everybody in my era, we thought we were gonna be Gina one day. Gina, 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 Gina. Have y'all enjoyed Tisha Campbell though?
You guys for having me
here.
It's such a blessing to me to be here. Thank you so, so much.
Thank you. Y'all give it up one more time for the Tisha Campbell. I got a lot of nuggets.
I'm touching stuff. I'm not going to touch anything because when I start touching stuff, I'll be messing up stuff. See, that's why I have people in place because they help me to not touch stuff. So I touched my computer right here trying to see your comments and I done messed something up. But that was so good. I love the whole, many times as women, we have to live with the narrative and the characterization that others put on us. But when you know who you are in Christ Jesus, you can press through various seasons of your life to come out whole, to come out well. I love the woman who Jesus meets at the well. I wrote a book years ago called Table for One. And the great narrative about that story is that first Jesus waited on her. And then after Jesus waits on her, he deals with her past. He really tells her all the things and the labels that have been placed on her. But then he doesn't leave her with the labels. He liberates her into being who he called her to be. He liberates her into being a woman of purpose, a woman of destiny, a woman who some would say is victorious. Some would say a woman who wins. He liberated her to be the Shirose that she was always destined to be. August 6th through the 9th, I want to liberate you to be the Shirose. I want to release you into being the Shirose that God has called you to be. August 6th through the 9th. It's happening. SherosesLeague.com. I want you to go register. I trust that you were blessed by tonight. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to register, most importantly. But if you feel led on your heart, can you join me in sowing a seed on tonight? Sowing a seed into the vision of Sheroes League, the ministry that we do to empower, to uplift. It is not something that we take lightly, that it costs us something. The women's Bible study, the tools that we offer, the registration doesn't even compare to what we have to invest in to make Sheroes League happen and all the events that are happening. And so maybe you'll sow a seed into us of $20. I was going to do this whether you sowed a seed or not, but can we partner together in expanding and impacting women? Can we partner together tonight and touching more women with this message of safety, transparency, love, boldness, and winning against the odds? You can go to newlight.org/give. You can text New Light to 54244. You can use PayPal. You can use Zelle. So do 20. I like that, Miss Sheroes. Some of you will do 20, 25. Some of you will do 40. I'm going to at least do 100 tonight. That's what I'm going to do. That's my seed on tonight. But let's sow a seed. Use the category Sheroes League. And if you have to say seed or registration tonight, I want you to register. I want you to register, and I want you to stay locked into what we're doing. I really want you to be a part of the women's only Bible study. God laid it on my heart, and I've sat on it for a while, but I am not going to sit on what God has given me to do another moment. And so starting in July, we're going to do like 3 weeks on, and then we'll do 3 weeks off. But beginning Monday, July 7th at 7 p.m., registration is free at SherosesLeague.com/study. We're going to go in depth to the Sheroes of the Bible, see what we can learn from them, how we can take their tools and apply to their life. Y'all, it is happening. We are 41 days away from one of the most impactful moments in your life, in your future, in your destiny. Sheroes League Conference, She's Well, happening August 6th through the 9th. I want to see you in the building. Thank you for joining me for a flashback to 2024. If you thought 2024 was good, it gets better in 2025. We're going to step into another level of favor, another level of grace. And every person that God has put on my heart is going to expand your business, is going to expand your mental capacity, it's going to expand your intimacy, it's going to expand your physical wellness, it's going to expand your relationships with the opposite sex, but it's going to expand and enhance your encounter with God. So as we go out, I pray and declare the blessings of the Lord over your life. May you be blessed abundantly in all that you do. May everything that you put your hands to prosper. May you experience the fullness of God, and may God rebound blessings back to you for the seed that you have sown. And may you be ready and prepared for what God's going to do in your life at Sheroes League 2025. We're going to roll out with the Sheroes League commercial. And I will see you next time, hopefully on Friday night tomorrow here at the Light. But definitely stay locked in, because Sheroes League Conference has some big things happening that you don't want to miss. Peace out. Hey, Sheroes, I want to personally invite you to join me for Sheroes League 2025. She's Well, happening August 6th through the 9th. This is more than a conference. It's a divine encounter for your spirit, your mind, and your life. Whether you're 20, 40, or 60, no matter your season, God wants you whole, empowered, loved, and lifted. So make the investment in you, your healing, your wellness, your future. Go now to SherosesLeague.com and register. I can't wait to see you at She's Well.